In this video I'm going to demonstrate how you convert the bike from the Xplore configuration to the Trials format. You can use the tools that are provided with the bike and I'll start off by removing the seat. When removing the two bolts that fixes the seat in position, it's beneficial if you just apply a small bit of pressure to the back of the seat. It's just to align the holes up correctly so it's easy to remove the bolt from its location. As you'll see here, I'm just applying a small bit of pressure. I can then pull the bolt out. And then we remove the seat. Okay, in this next step, I'm just going to remove the cover for the subframe. Okay, the front of this component here is got some push fit fixings in here. So the easiest way to remove this panel is if you lift up and release those first. You can then hold onto the two sides, just ever so slightly, just open it up to make it easier to then remove. Okay, the next step is to remove the rear mudguard. Okay, the next step is to remove the splash guard from the subframe, which you can just pull off. We then just move that out of the way slightly. So there are 4 fixing bolts to hold the actual subframe on, which I'm now going to remove. Just be careful when removing these front bolts that the washer doesn't drop down inside the engine compartment. If you just leave one of them in there just a few turns, this will help support the subframe when removing the last bolt at the bottom. To remove the 2 bolts that are holding the bottom part of the subframe off, it's easier to take the battery out to get access to those bolts. Remove that one bolt that I used to secure the subframe in place. That subframe can be lifted out. To fit the Trials subframe, the fixing point at the top is different to the Xplore. This actually mounts through the top shock absorber bolt, so I'm going to need to remove that to be able to put this into position. To remove this top bolt, you do need to release a bit of the pressure that's in the shock, because at the moment it's under tension and it's preventing the bolt to be removed. So I'm just going to use the pump that's provided just to release a little bit of that pressure. It's always good just to take note of what the current pressure is in case you've forgotten what your setting should be. And then you could just release a bit of that pressure. That should be adequate. And now the bolt is easily removed. If you then just hold the shock slightly away a couple of inches, just allow access for the subframe to then go on. And then once you've got the subframe in location, you can then push the shock absorber back into its correct position. And then push the bolt back in. That secures the shock absorber back in position. It's always good practice now to put that pressure straight back in so then you don't forget to do it at the end. At this stage I can now reinstall the splash guard. Again, these are very flexible. I can just hook them over the tabs. Now we're going to install the mud guard. Okay, the next stage now is to install the Trials seat unit. Just make sure that you're not catching anything. Push it on, and then it's just the 2 fixings on the side to hold it in place. Okay, and then the last section that we need to do now is just reapply the splash guard here. Trials and Xplore, they are different lengths. So the Xplore is the longer one with the grip handle on the inside, whereas the Trials format is a much smaller piece that goes into there. So the way the bottom fixings are located, it's using the same dowels that the rubber splash guard is held into place. So you have to ensure that you are located onto those pins. You then slide it down as far as you can go, ensuring that the brake line is also in the groove. And that's it. You then just use the two fixing points up here to hold it into place. Okay, now the conversion from the Xplore to Trials is complete. I can reinstall the battery, so I'll just do that now. That's the battery now installed and the bike is ready to go.